You might be wondering, why did I put one of my cameras on the roof of my house? Well, it's actually not any of the cameras that you've ever seen before, at least not from me. It's not the Canon EOS R, it's not the GoPro Hero 10, it's not the X3, or even the viziuuy Pocket 3. It's a completely different camera in a different genre of cameras, and I've never talked about one of them before on this channel. But I think you're going to like it because it's a security camera that comes in at under $100 right now on Amazon, and it's got a pretty cool feature that I think you're going to like. Let's go talk about it. I just realized I haven't been back here in the sunroom, which I've kind of made my makeshift studio, in almost a month. I think the last one that I did, the last tech review in here that I did, was a set of earbuds. So kind of weird, but really nice to be back in here and doing one of these tech reviews again. But like I said, what I have is a solar battery wireless security camera. And again, this is not something that I purchased. This is something that was sent to me by, and I'm going to unfortunately butcher this company's name, and I am sorry ahead of time. I think it's viziuuy. V-I-Z-I-U-U-Y. But they reached out, asked if I wanted to review their security camera, and I have honestly actually been looking for new ways, new security systems to include around the house, because as you've probably seen, we are finishing up the shed build, so going to be moving things in there. Want to keep those things safe, not just with the deadbolt and the different locks. Want to find a way to keep, the girls safe if I'm out of town. And so it's just happened to be one of the perfect times for me to review a security camera. And I really like some of the features right off the bat about this. It's got 355 degrees pan, 90 degrees of tilt. It's got the equivalent for a lens of 4mm, so you've got a very nice wide angle lens. It shoots 1920 by 1080 at roughly 14 frames per second. And then it also can do 720 at that same 14 frames a second if you want to save some space. So not quite 4K, but still, if you're looking at the intro, pretty good quality for a security camera and for the price of right under $100 right now on Amazon. So what we'll do right now is talk about the ease of use. And one of the great things is, just like a lot of other security systems, this has its own app, and it is the Cloud Edge app. You can see it right there next to Ring on my phone. Let's see here, open that. This is what the interface is that when you get in, you're able to see your cameras and you see the names of them, and then you're able to get into this screen. And so this screen is a live view, and you've got all kinds of options down here, and you're able to do a lot of different things with this camera. One of the things that I love about this right off the bat is you're able to get live audio. So you can hear the tree frogs and the crickets and everything going right now. So if somebody is there, you're able to hear what they're saying, hear what they're doing. You're obviously able to see the live view. And so I'll go ahead and turn that around. And you can even do horizontal so that you can get a better picture of it. And then you have a lot of different controls. Screenshot, you can take a 3 megapixel screenshot of what's going on. There's an intercom. You can talk to somebody out there, like if you need to give directions to somebody leaving a package, if you want to scare somebody away. There's also another feature for that too. You also have a record button. And what I've noticed with this is you can record up to about right under a minute and it will save to your phone. When I've tried to go over that minute, I've noticed that it has a failed recording message when I've tried to do that. So I don't think it's actually recording to the micro SD card there either. So you want to keep your recordings to under a minute if you're able to. It does have motion detection, like I said. So if somebody comes in, when one of the cars pulls in, or if somebody were to walk into my yard, it'll catch that. It has a light. I do like that. It like right now at night, I'm able to get a full color view instead of just the black and white grainy view. And then to scare people off also, it has a siren. You can hit the red button for a siren. You also have that two-way intercom, and then an album to see your recordings. So getting back to one of the features that I love about this is there is a PTZ. So you press that and you are able to control the camera and move it live. And so I just love that you're able to, you don't have to be right there kind of like looking at your phone going, okay, I think I've got it. And then, something happened and the camera get bumped. You're able to live follow around. It's not the best camera. You're going from the wireless signal to your, the cell signal. There's a lot of different things going in between, so there is a lag. It's not the greatest. It's not as great as if you were using a joystick looking right at the camera, but it is a really handy feature to be able to reposition that camera as you need it. And very similar to Ring, you do get a notification on your phone when it senses motion. You're able to adjust that sensitivity. I've got mine set on 5 out of 10 right now. Might take it down a little bit because even on 4, 5, and 6, I've noticed that at night when a car goes down my road, the headlights cause the motion detector go off. And so I kind of want to get that to where I want them to actually be up on the cars. I don't want my mailman to set it off. I don't want the trash guys setting it off. I don't want a car driving by setting off. One of the cool things about that, by the way, is I don't know if I mentioned it already, but it can take a micro SD card right in the bottom of the camera. And the instructions versus the box are a little different. The box says that it can hold up to 128 gigabytes of internal memory. So you put a little micro SD card in there, whereas I believe the instructions, and I can't remember where the instruction manual is, but I believe that said up to either 32 or 64 gigabytes. So a little bit of, miscommunication between the box people and the instruction manual, but I haven't had any issues with the 32 gig card in there. It's kind of very similar to a dash cam where it will record, and then from what I can tell, it will then delete the oldest footage and keep like a rolling count of, all right, here's yesterday, yesterday's now gone, here's today, and things like that. And it records all of those alerts. And it's really cool because it also, it divides it up. Here is today AM, here's today PM, here is tomorrow AM, here's tomorrow PM. Really nice to have that ability to kind of go through and see how many alerts you got in a day, and also be able to go back and go, I need to look at X date and see what's going on. And so now for my favorite feature, the final piece of this, and that's the fact that it says it in the name, it's solar powered. It has a very powerful battery built in, and then it comes with this really nice solar panel that charges the battery all day long. And we here in Augusta are getting roughly, somewhere between 12 and 14 hours of decent daylight most days. And so I was able to position the solar panel towards the top of the house, and it gets great coverage all day long. And I've really tested this. What I've done is when I wake up about 5:30, 6 a.m. in the morning, I immediately open this app to see what the battery life is. And I've had plenty of juice when I wake up in the mornings. Now, obviously it's because it's not continually moving. As long as I'm not getting somebody constantly standing in front of the camera, I'm not gonna use as much battery. But the solar panel does a great job all day of completely charging this back up, and it does a really good job of holding that charge throughout the night. And again, you get all of this for roughly just under $100 right now on Amazon. It does come with the camera, the solar panel, everything you need to mount. It is really easy to mount this camera anywhere in your house and get started and plugged up. The hardest part was understanding what type of camera it is within the app, but once you figure that out, you're golden and you're able to access it super easy. Everything works the way that it should, and I've been really happy with this system, to the point where, like I continually say, I will probably actually end up buying one of these to include more for my home security. A couple things that I would say is, number one is, I know that I have a video out there that megapixels don't matter, but I would like a little bit better resolution. I would love a 4K camera. I would love 5 to 8 megapixels. An 8 megapixel camera would be really nice. Again, those are just to help with when identifying somebody at a distance or who's trying to hide themselves. If you have the 4K at 30 or 60 frames per second, it's a little smoother. You're able to get a frame grab there easier. 5 to 8 megapixel camera, again, better frame grab for if you're trying to identify somebody that's been messing with your car, messing with your things, just things like that. I would love a little bit of better resolution. Other than that, I don't have any complaints. For the price of under $100, I have really enjoyed this security camera. Ooh, like I said, empty box, so that wouldn't have been the end of the world. But I'm very happy with this camera. And I think that if you liked this video and if you're looking for a little bit of added security at your house, I don't think you can go wrong with the viziuuy viziuuy solar battery wireless security camera. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button. I greatly appreciate it. And as always, I will catch you in another video.